The siren hit, so hard it made the floor hum. Code, code, medical to laundry now. The radio barked the words, and a line of officers ran past me, boots slapping the waxed hall. I froze in the doorway. Steam poured from the laundry room like a gray curtain. Inside, 2 men were on the ground, and one was not moving. A red light spun on the wall. Everyone else lay flat, hands out where the tower camera could see. An officer shouted, "Clear the space. Don't move." Another officer dropped to his knees and started chest pushes. The room smelled like soap and hot metal. The clock on the wall kept ticking like nothing was wrong. I'm Marcus Lane. I teach GED classes inside a state prison. I'm not supposed to be near codes. Teachers are meant to be in classrooms with pencils and paper, not in laundry with alarms and steam. But prison doesn't ask where you want to be. It tells you where you are. And today, I was standing 10 feet from a moment people outside will only hear about in a one-line news story. A criminal died in prison. What that line won't say is how the room felt, how time stretched thin, or how every person there learned again that walls do not stop harm. They only hold it. A nurse slid past me, fast and calm, like she had practiced this run in her head 100 times. She opened her bag, checked for breathing, said words I could not hear. An officer pulled me back by the sleeve. "Sir, you need to clear?" His voice wasn't rude. It was tight like a rope. I stepped into the hallway. From inside came the steady sound of hands pressing, counting. 1, 2, 3. Over and over, the red light blinked and blinked. The radio asked for names. No one said, "Any, not yet." And here, names are heavy. You don't speak one until someone in charge says you can. You want to know what happened. Your mind jumps ahead. Did the man live? Did he die? Who did it? Why? That is where I could give you a fast answer. But to understand this morning, to understand why the title, "When Criminals Get Killed in Prison," is not a headline but a drumbeat, you have to go back. You have to see the slow turns that lead to a sudden end. You have to feel the heat, hear the rules, and learn the little ways a day inside can tilt from normal to never the same. Earlier, when I first walked into this prison as a teacher, an older officer with gray hair and steady eyes gave me 3 rules. 1, don't owe anyone. 2, don't promise what you can't deliver. 3, when you hear down, you go down. He tapped the radio on his shoulder. And listen more than you talk. The prison looks hard from the road. Concrete, razor wire, tall lights. Inside, it feels like a small city that never sleeps. Count, chow, yard, work, count again. Doors buzz, slam, and hum. The TV in the day room is always a little too loud. The phone line always looks too long. People move the same paths every day until a buzzer changes the plan. I teach in a cinder block room with 2 rows of metal desks. The pencils are dull. The books are tired. But the faces in those chairs are awake in a way most people never see. Some students are quiet and careful, like every word costs money. Some talk fast to cover fear. Some are good at math and bad at hope. Most have families who call on Tuesdays when the line isn't crazy. Almost all have a story that turned at the wrong corner. In my first month, a student named Dre wrote an essay about the smell of summer rain on hot asphalt. He said it was the only thing he missed more than his mother's banana bread. He also said the thing I wrote on the board and circled twice. Here, small mistakes grow big fast. He was right. Last week, he cut a line in the chow hall with a friend. It wasn't a fight. It was nothing. But nothing can turn into something when someone else is already angry, already hungry, already 5 days into a lockdown with no phone call. Some deaths inside come from that kind of tilt. Small push, hard fall. Others are planned. Most people inside know who is marked long before staff do. A look at yard. A list on a scrap of paper. A miss, my bad. And sometimes it is not personal at all. It is about the charge you carry like a label. Some crimes make you a target no matter how quiet you walk. Staff try to split the heat. They move people. They change times. They add eyes. They can't see everything. I learned what down means on a bright afternoon in Echo Yard. The tower guard shouted it once. The whole yard hit the dirt like the floor had a magnet. "Hands out," the speaker barked. A red dot skipped across the ground. Two men near the pull-up bars kept talking too long. They stopped on their shoes. An older prisoner next to me whispered without moving his lips, "Don't be next." His voice was small. It still cut through everything else. It's a sentence I hear again when alarms spin. You want true accounts? I can give you mine. I will not say names. That is not my job and not safe for anyone. But these happened. Account 1, the shower row. Late count had finished. The tier was loud with normal noise. TV, cards, someone laughing at the wrong time. Two men went to showers with sandals and soap. A third followed with a towel over his shoulder. The cameras saw steam. The microphones heard water and talk. Then the microphones heard only water. Officers moved fast. They did what they're trained to do. Call clear, press, hold. Medical came running. But water covers sounds and helps no one breathe. Later, the rumor was simple and hard. Words from 2 months ago, a death from a week ago, a chance from a minute ago. The tier got quiet for one night. The next day, the TV was too loud again. Account 2, the kitchen. Hot pans, chain-locked knives, 100 trays, a line of hungry men. One tray slipped. A tray hits a shoe. Food spills. Someone laughs at the wrong second. A hand pushes. Another hand pushes back harder. The person who was laughing stops. He is not laughing now. A CO gets between bodies. Back! Back! The crowd breathes in like one animal. Then the crowd breathes out. Later, one man won't wake up in medical. It wasn't a shove. It was a hit after. The head on the corner. You don't see. The bad luck no rule can fix. People say, it wasn't supposed to go that far. Inside, far is closer than people think. Account 3, the list. Officers find it during a random cell shake, behind a vent, folded small. The paper holds 7 names. 5 are nobody special. 2 are loud. One of those 2 moves the same day to a different unit with more cameras and doors that open slow. The other refuses to move. I ain't scared, he says. The officer says, be smart anyway. A week later, the officer who said that stands at a crime scene and can't stop staring at the floor. He taught me my 3 rules. His eyes look older after. Today's laundry code felt like all these accounts had learned to walk and met me at a door. I did not see a weapon. I did not need to. I saw what comes after. Hands pressing, counting, begging a chest to remember how. I saw a young officer's face go from, I've got this, to please work. I saw an older officer become a wall between the rest of the room. And the worst part today, making space the way men do when they have stood in too many rooms like this. A captain arrived, voice steady. Everyone out who is not assigned, he called. Teachers, volunteers, move. I backed down the hall with 2 kitchen workers who had been passing by and saw more than they will sleep with tonight. One of them, a tall man with tired eyes, whispered. That was a good dude. Kept to himself. Helped me fold sheets. Why him? I did not answer. The question is the size of the building. They locked the hall. They put up tape. They collected things in bags with numbers. The nurse came out last. Her face calmed the way only practice makes a face. She gave a small shake of her head. No words. She didn't need them. An officer held the door for her, like a small respect. People notice that kind of thing. Count cleared late. The unit went quiet in a way I've learned is not peace. It is shock with no place to sit. In my classroom, the pencils stayed in their cups. The clock said we should be diagramming sentences. No one came. Not today. I put the books back on the shelf and wiped the board clean like that could help. It didn't. Cleaning helps your hands, not your head. By afternoon, the Roomba machine had already done its work. Laundry. 2 guys. Over nothing. Over something. Over last year. Over last night. Wrong place. Wrong time. No, man, he knew. Outside, social media will turn it into a hot take. Inside, it turns into a list of new rules people make for themselves to feel safe. Don't work laundry. Don't stand near dryers. Don't talk to this set. Don't look like you're looking. Keep your head low. These rules help until the day they don't. After dinner, the warden came on the loudspeaker. His voice sounded like gravel. He said the right things. We are investigating. We will lock down. We will add eyes. He said the kind of sentence that is true and not helpful. Violence will not be tolerated. In here, violence does not ask for permission. It lives here. Staff push it down with policy, with presence, with practice. Some days they win. Some days they don't. The men know which is which before the rest of us do. You want shocking true accounts. Here is one more from today. When they reopened the hall for a short window so workers could return to their units, I saw a detail that will not leave me. On the laundry table sat a neat stack of folded sheets. Sharp corners, straight lines. Half finished. The man who folded like that taught another man how to keep corners tight. They check these, he had said. If the card is sloppy, they look harder at us. He was trying to make less trouble for everyone. The sheets looked ready for a clean bed. The person who folded them did not go back to his. Night came early. Lockdown lights glow a tired yellow. In cells, men talk low. Some pray. Some stare at ceilings. Some write letters they won't send. In the officer station, 2 COs drink cold coffee and don't say the part they are both thinking. Could we have stopped it? Could we have seen it? What we change tomorrow that won't break something else? I walked to the gate with my pass and my empty lesson plan. The older officer with gray hair met me there. His eyes were more lined than this morning. You good, Mr. Lane? He asked. I will be, I said. It felt like a small lie and a small truth. He nodded. You know the rule, he said. When it goes bad, you get small. Let's get big. I know, I said. I'm sorry I was close. Not your fault, he said. Wrong place, wrong minute. That's half the math in here. As I signed out, a younger officer hustled up with a printout. Cap wants these moved tonight, he told the desk. The desk sergeant read the sheet and went still for half a second before his face went flat again. I saw the top of the page by accident. It was a list. It had housing numbers next to names. It had the word relocate at the top and the word priority underlined twice. I walked to my car under sky that had turned purple. The fence hummed. The tower light swept the lot like a lighthouse that didn't lead to water. I sat behind the wheel and put my hands on the cool plastic and tried to swallow the noise still stuck in my ears. The lock of the laundry door, the count of the nurse, the hiss of the steam, the siren that does not really stop, not in your head. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Dre, my GED student. It came from a prison email system, which turns every message into plain type with no color. He had written one line. Is class tomorrow or is it canceled? I typed back. If the door's open, I'll be there. Before I could hit send, my screen lit up with an alert from the prison app. All programs suspended until further notice. It said, modified movement. Staff 0600 briefing. I stared at the words until they blurred. Then another alert popped up, smaller, from an officer I know who never texts unless it matters. It read, heads up, there was a second incident after you left. Not fatal. Yet, stay sharp tomorrow. Yet, that word sat in my lap like a brick. I looked back at the fence. Somewhere behind it, men were counting minutes again, and officers were checking cameras, and a captain was drawing new lines on a map of a place that changes faster than a pen can move. Somewhere behind it, a list was being read, and a door was being checked twice, and a person was learning that his name had gotten heavy. You want a cliffhanger. You already have one, because tonight, the prison is a hell breath. And just before I turned the key, my phone lit one more time with a message from an address I didn't know. No subject, no greeting, only 8 words. Teacher, don't come to laundry tomorrow. It's not over.